Oh, my staff
And so this is the paperback version. We had a hard copy.
Good afternoon and welcome to the channel. I'm Heath and I'm down in Pattaya today. It's been raining, so it's a bit cooler. So it's really nice to have some of these fresher days here in Thailand. Well, I'm down at the Canterbury Tales Bookshop where Brian Jacks is having a book signing. So I'm just going to hang about, maybe get a chat with the man, and we'll see how this video goes. So thank you for watching.
Independent shop, keep fit, and just enjoy the sport. This is the metropolitan place. Okay. And my dad was in the States. At that time, they were, everyone had to be over 6 foot 1 inch tall, and if you know about that time. 82 okay. That's quite a bit. When was it actually hardback edition? Good luck in your business.
ฝรั่งไทยวีซ่าไม่ได้ไลฟ์ฝรั่งเนี่ยฝรั่งโอเคฝรั่งนี่ค่ะฝรั่ง for special right for special
We had a big piece in the Pattaya Mail. Down there. Remarried it, Gary's got to go. So he wants to.
Excuse me 1 second. Tara, is she here?
Yeah, that's another one. I think that'd be quite good actually. That's just
Lovely. The Gamekeeper.
You got my best side, have you?
By David Collier.
You do.
Very interesting book, by the way.
And the better side.
G-I-L-L-E-S.
GILES.
We've got to retire. We come about where is she? What do we do? You're done. Was that somebody reading away road? I read 2,000 ladies.
Who shall I sign it to?
Can you sign it to Paula? P-A-U-L-A. Paula.
It's business. You don't need it because it keeps it going. Just a little bit.
You've got to do that.
You send your smile.
Excellent.
Yeah, I just want to introduce Ticky Donovan to everyone. He's world champion. He was world champion at karate. Very, very good old friend. And he's a little bit older than me, about 10 years older than me.
Found the place, okay?
It's a very professional photographer.
Okay, while I'm here at the bookshop, I'm going to have a chat with Dave, who is the owner of the bookshop here, the Canterbury Tales, and actually he's just has his book release, The Gamekeeper. So that's available here as well. So Dave, what can you tell us about this book and why did you write it?
Well, it's something I've always wanted to do, and because if you've got a bookshop, you might as well write a book. And I always wanted to get the story out there, even though it's fiction. I just basically plodded on with it and got to the stage where I couldn't type anymore. I had to use talk to text, as you know, and so it's all became a bit of a marathon. But I got there in the end, and there's 400 pages. It covers when I was a gamekeeper, then on to the Samaritans, doing the prison work.
And the interesting stuff is the prison work, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And what went on from there onwards.
So, I mean, it's no secret Dave has a few challenges, and it was in life, and it's quite hard to write at some point. So, how did you, when you started writing the book, you were able to type? and then
I
you
was.
started to use voice to text.
Yes.
So how long did it take you, and how much of it was written by hand, and how much did you need a bit of help?
Well, the help I obviously use Microsoft Word, and that helps a lot. Then I had the book. It took me 4+ years in between having breaks from it and so on, and wondering whether I should add bits or not. So it took me quite a while, and eventually it would have taken probably 5 years to complete. Then I had to have it edited as well.
Did you have times when like over time you have times when you don't write for a while and then you write for a while?
Absolutely, yeah, because I have a thing called inclusion body myositis, which is nobody have ever heard of course, but it's a very slow acting muscle wasting illness. So you go through different stages, and plus when I was doing the book, I had a lot of the feelings come back from back then, and I had a bit of a break, and so it's not just straightforward as you think writing a book. It takes a lot of energy.
Okay, but although you say it's fiction, it's actually based on your life experiences, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the cop-out we used was fiction from a true story, because you obviously when you're writing a few things like this in the book, it might not be a good idea to say that it would actually happen like that.
Yeah. But it is nice once you actually get your book in print. It actually is quite rewarding, isn't it?
Oh
When you
yeah,
actually-
absolutely,
when you
yeah.
actually see it like this.
That's right, and then we've sold over 100 in the bookshop, so I'm very pleased with it.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, Dave has to go to speak to a few people here. So thanks for talking to me, Dave. I appreciate it.
No worries.
And I'll put
Right,
links in the description to the book. Okay, we're going to have a quick chat with Mark Gingell, who is actually you actually kind of put Brian's book together, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm like the ghost writer. I met him, he said he wanted to write a book. He said he wasn't good enough to do it. I said I'd help him as much as I could, so I did.
Okay. But so how long have you known Brian?
I met him in 2016 at the end in October, and he talked about it then, and we had a book by August 2017.
And you're writing something else at the moment for someone else, aren't you? Do you want to mention that?
Yeah, her name's Stephanie Ingle. She's a judo player. I won't tell you any more than that, but it's a really interesting story. Make a great film.
Wow. Okay, well thanks Mark, always good to see you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, I managed to get a moment with Brian. He's been really busy signing books. So Brian, you quite excited about the book being out?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, basically because the cover is very similar to the first book we did, but we've changed all the inside of it, and we've put loads of new things in, loads of new photographs, and we've more or less rewritten it. It's more stories about things I did in Japan and so on.
So why did you want to, because originally it was a hardback and it was quite a big book, wasn't it? So why did you want to do it as a paperback?
Well, I just want more. I mean, it's easier to carry around, and it's just easier for people to read. The original one was something like that thick, as you know.
Yeah.
But we've cut it right the way down, took a lot of the things out, and put more interesting little stories in about what happened in Japan and so on.
But this actually does. It's not only about your TV appearances. This actually starts off. What age was it when you were first in the book? Right?
Well, the age that we talk about first of all is probably about 8 or 9.
Right.
And then it goes on to when I went to Japan when I was 15. I lived in Japan on my 15th birthday. I arrived there. I don't know if you remember, but in the old days, the plane took off in London and went to Amsterdam, took off from Amsterdam, went to somewhere else, and it did about 6 hops before it got to Japan.
But what's really interesting though is like when you were 16, it was in those days you couldn't just text your mum and dad, how are you? So you were really isolated, weren't you? You were put in a country where you didn't know the language.
That's right.
So there's more challenges. There was more challenges back then than there is now.
Yeah, I had one phone call a month from my father, and that had to be booked into the house that I was staying at. We had to book it, pre-book it, and so on. And at that time, I was, as I said, it was on my 15th birthday. He was sending me £8 a month to live on. Obviously, you can't live on £8 a month if you're 15 years old. You tend to go out and see something, you buy it, and you think, fudge. fudge, I've spent too much money, you know, what do I do? Anyway, I mean, I got by, and then I went to a modelling agency to get some modelling work.
Because he was quite good looking back in the day, as you can see. But one thing in your career that I find interesting is that when you were at the Munich Olympics, when you won your bronze, because you had all the trouble back then, didn't you, with the terrorist stuff. So how much were you aware when you were in the Olympics of what was going on, the political side of it?
Well, believe it or not, the British team were in the block just opposite where the whole thing happened. Right. But I just won the medal, and because I was wearing, I think it was Adidas uniforms or Adidas something, they took us off to the Adidas camp.
Right.
So I weren't actually there when the problem started. Because I'd won the medal, they took us away and gave us a congratulations thing and took us here and that did. So I weren't actually on the site, but it took place right opposite our building, the building we were in.
Do you still like watch judo events like on the TV? Is it still interesting to you? I know you've been there and done it, but it's in your system, isn't it? Do you still watch stuff?
To be honest, because of this telephone that I get lots of my old friends sending me clips of the modern judo and so on, but
is it different now that the sport has it changed?
It's not changed. It's just got more and more. How do you say it? I don't know. It's got more and more concentrated. People, people are training much harder because there's money involved in it now where there wasn't before. But to be honest with you, Heath, I'm not interested. I came to live in Thailand. Fortunately, as you know, I won the Superstars after I'd stopped doing judo, and the Superstars gave me a completely new lease of life, because I was doing cycling, swimming, canoeing, weightlifting, arm dips, and all these, and I'm a PE teacher. So it gave me a new lease of life, and as soon as that happened, I realised that judo is not the only thing in the world. So that's basically it. You know, I more or less gave it up. I still go on the mat now and again to.
Okay, where is your bronze medal at this moment?
All my medals, all my cups, all my trophies are with my son in England. Right. Gave them all to him. Yeah. And for his granddaughter. My son, as you know, married a Thai girl. They've got a little girl that's half Thai and half English. She's Millie. She's 7 years old now. So, and she owns the swimming pool in my apartments. It's Millie's swimming pool.
Okay. Well, Brian's book is out. I'll put the links in the description to where you can get a copy. And Brian, it's always good to talk to you, and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for doing it. It's wonderful.
You're welcome. Okay.
Well, it's a pleasure to do it.
And that's going to be the end of the video now. So thanks for watching wherever you are in the world. I know a lot of people ask how Brian's doing. He's doing fine. And we're having a good life here in Thailand. It's great out here, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Okay, wherever you are in the world, have a great week or a great weekend, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for watching. Thank you.